What's going on, everybody? It's Aurora coming at you with a brand new video, and it looks like we've finally gotten at least most, if not all but one of the Salamangreat cards from Duelist of Explosion finally revealed, and I know a lot of people are excited for this support because Salamangreat has always been not just a really good deck, well, not always been a really good deck, but since its release, it was one of the best decks in Eternal format or Toss format, whatever you want to call it, and it's always been a really big fan favorite deck, both because, you know, Cybers, a lot of people like Cyber stuff. It's a pretty easy deck, I think, to pick up in general, not just because of the structure decks, but just the playstyle as well. And then, of course, the anime is probably one of the biggest reasons. And so I know a lot of people have been really excited, and I'm pretty excited too, because I always found Salad a little bit boring, so if this can spice it up while also making it good again, I think that would be really cool. So I'm not going to waste any more time, let's go ahead and look right into it. We have 6 cards here, and I'm pretty sure they're supposed to have a 7th because JP1 is missing. Starting off, we have Salamangreat Weasel. This is a Fire Cybers tuner level 3 with 700 attack and 1400 defense. It's a tuner because they have a brand new synchro as the things I've seen. It says you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. If you have 2 or more Salad monsters in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if a Salad Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, and or Link monster is special summoned to your field while this card's in your graveyard, you can target one other Salamangreat monster in your graveyard, place this card on the bottom of the deck, and if you do special summon that monster to your opponent's field, then draw 1 card. So unless the new Synchro does something involving opponent's monsters, I don't remember if Violet Chimera or the Emerald Eagle or whatever do anything involving opponent's monsters, but unless that has something to do with that, the second effect giving your opponent your monster is really weird. I'm assuming the Synchro will do something, but it is a free recur with a draw, so you can have this back in your deck. But most importantly, that first effect seems pretty nice, not gonna lie. I mean, Salad's always been known for having a lot of extension and a lot of follow-up play, and this just seems like a free body that you don't really need to work too hard for. Really like it. Next up, we have Salamangreat Tiger. This is a Fire Cybers tuner level 5 with 2000 attack and 500 defense. It says you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You can discard one other Salamangreat card to special summon this card from your hand. If this card you control be used as synchro material for a fire monster, you can treat it as a non-tuner. And once per turn, you can increase or decrease this card's level by 1. Ooh, there are a lot of interesting things to talk about for this card. So, first off, discarding another Salad is like the lowest cost in history because you have things like Spinny that can special itself back, you have Jack Jaguar that can special itself back, you have like a bunch of other things that can summon itself back, Falco, and then most importantly, Gazelle, which is absolutely coming off the TCG list after this set drops or right before it drops. Gazelle actually still triggers because it doesn't say from field to grave, it says if a Salad is sent to your grave from anywhere. So that's a free 2 bodies on board that can probably immediately make the Synchro, especially because not only can this be used as a non-tuner, but you can also manipulate the level, which is really good because things like, I think, Baylinks require a 4 or lower Cybers, so while you can have this card as a level 5 or 6 for other Synchro plays, you can still drop it a level in order to make it accessible via your other Link plays. Because this card can make itself a level 6 and you have access to things like Falco and Jack Jaguar as level 4s, I think Salad might have a consistent way to access Baron now. That's crazy. Next up is their new Link 4 boss monster that is, I believe, on the cover art. This is Salamangreat Raging Phoenix. It is a Link 4 Fire Cybers with 2800 attack and down, left, down, right, bottom, and up arrows. It requires 2 or more fire effect monsters, and you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is link summoned using itself as material, you can add 1 Salamangreat card from your deck to your hand. If a face-up fire monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card's in your graveyard, you can target one of them, special summon this card, and if you do, it gains attack equal to that monster's. So this card seems both good and bad, because on one hand, you can literally search for any Salad card, which can fit basically any desire that you want, simply by like using the reincarnation link mechanic that the archetype has. But on the other hand, it requires you to fill 2 slots in your extra deck with just this card. It only has 2 effects total, and the second effect is kinda okay. I mean, like, yeah, it sends itself back and makes it big, but you don't get the first effect again, and that's all it is. It's just a big monster. I'm not too super sure about this one. It seems good in theory just for the first effect, and it might be included in certain combos, but wouldn't you rather just go into like a Sunlight Wolf with itself using the field spell? I don't know. Next up, here is their Synchro monster, Salamangreat Burst Griffin. They really like birds in this archetype. It's a level 8 Fire Cybers Synchro with 2800 attack and 2000 defense that requires 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuners. You can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. You can target one level 7 or lower fire monster in your graveyard. You're locked into fires for the rest of the turn, also special summon that monster, and if you do, reduce this card's level by that monster's original level. And if this card is synchro summoned using Salamangreat Burst Griffin as material, you can activate this effect, and during the next standby phase, special a monster from your graveyard. I can definitely see this card seeing play for the first effect just to make a slightly bigger end board. The main problem though is that locking you into fires, there's not that many amazing fire end board pieces, similar to why Mirage Stalio isn't like the most amazing card in Salad anymore. I literally see Salad players play one, and it's just because, why not? Like, the end board pieces this deck has have never been really great monster-wise, but this might be able to at least extend you into like an extra link play or something. Next up is a new quick play spell called Salamangreat Charge. This is you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. You get to activate one of these effects. You target 3 of your fires that are banished and or into your graveyard, shuffle 2 of them into the deck, and if you do, special summon the third, but its effects are negated, also cannot attack. Or if you control a fire, ritual, effusion, synchro, Xyz, or link whose current attack is different from its original attack, target one card on the field and destroy it. Interesting. So the first effect is a pretty okay monster reborn. I mean, it's shuffling back your banished fodder, things like Spinny most importantly, while getting you a free body on board. Yeah, its effects are negated, but it doesn't really matter most of the time. But the second effect is also pretty neat because I never really thought of it before, but including with this wave, Salad has a lot of stat manipulators between its field spell, Heat Leo, the new Burst Phoenix, or I'm so sorry, it's Raging Phoenix, Burst is the Griffin. Like, you have a lot of attack manipulation in this archetype, which seems a bit niche, but in combination with this card is maybe like a one of or something because it is searchable. I think it might not be that bad. Finally, we have a brand new trap card called Salamangreat Revive. It is a normal trap that says you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. You target one fire monster in your graveyard and special summon it. I mean, it figures it's called Salamangreat Revive. And you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Salamangreat monster you control and a monster with the same name in your grave. Shuffle this second target into the deck, and if you do, the first target gains attack equal to its own original attack until the end of the turn. I mean, you already have like 50 different reborn cards in Salad, including the new quick play. So why would you waste resources getting a normal trap, meaning that you can't really use it on your opponent's turn effectively? I mean, it targets any fire to be fair, but still. And then the second effect, while I did just mention it, is kind of neat with the second effect of Salamangreat Charge. It's not really worth it in my opinion. I think you'd much rather, like 99% of the time, grab Rage or Roar, so I don't see this one being played. But that is going to do it for the new Salamangreat support coming out of Duelist of Explosion. What do I think about it overall? I think half of it is really, really good, and the other half is either just okay or kind of bad. Weasel, really good. Tiger, really, really good. Raging Phoenix, iffy because you have to play 2 of them in your extra deck to get the most value. Burst Griffin, not bad. Salamangreat Charge, not bad. And then Salamangreat Revive is kinda Honestly, considering the archetype still has issues playing through things like Nibiru or just board breakers in general, and their end boards are just still really, really mediocre, I don't think even the good cards of this set can actually help the archetype do too much. I think it'll absolutely be an even more played rogue option than it is now, I should say. Especially because like Weasel and Tiger are both really, really good cards from the main deck. Also, it gives you access to things like Baron if you don't fire lock yourself. So I can definitely see the archetype topping here and there, but I don't see it approaching the dominant success it used to have, especially because since then we've of course sped up the game significantly back during Master Rule 4, now we have Master Rule 4 2020. But I think with some of these cards, it was a bit of wasted potential, but overall, I think a lot of Salad players are going to be content, especially with the main deck monsters. But I don't know, that's just my opinion. Let me know yours down in the comments below, especially if you're a Salamangreat player, because that's going to do it for the video. If you liked it, please sure to leave a like, as well as put this video and the channel into your recommended. And if you like this content, you'll see more like it, like the rest of my review series. I try to review every new archetype and every wave of support that comes out. Then perhaps consider subscribing, because I want to have 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. Not to mention, it supports the channel more than anything else, and it's absolutely free. But once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Aurora, signing off.